By the way, can you share me the last exercise about this uh, algorithm?
You mean link
Or
it?
like homework? Yes, homework or some project you when you like stopped
Okay,
or.
I can send in the Zoom chat. Oh no,
Mhm.
it's too long. Can I send it in a Slack?
Yeah, you can send it in a Slack in the comment section for my invite.
Ah, okay. Let me just send it.
Because in the companies, it's a good idea to have a thread for some comments uh, instead of posting just messages in Slack chat. And it's kind of it looks like spammy if you can insert like a code or like 100 lines of code in Slack. It becomes inconvenient a little bit.
I have some problem. I was logged out. I can log in. Let me just divide that code. I can send in the Zoom chat just half by half. Just
Mhm.
this part. Okay, it's the first part. The second I'm gonna send now.
After volume,
So
the-
just a second. And to begin. Oh, just a second, please.
Mhm. Okay.
Here's some problem with the replicate. I just
Mhm. Mhm.
oh, all right. So I sent it.
Mhm. Okay. Message. Nice. Remove front. Remove. Okay, this is a node. This does value. This does next. Mhm. Twist constructor. Mhm. Okay. The end. Beginning. Remove from the head. Remove from the end. Okay.
Yeah, I you need to add one more curly braces at the end at line 64.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, here.
Syntax error. Mhm. So that was your homework, or that was your like
No, with Mario.
part? Mhm. Okay. Well, did you have a chance to take a look at this code and try to understand how the things are going on here? Is there anything you struggle about this part of code, or everything looks like clear?
I don't know. I didn't check this code for a week,
Mhm.
but I think if we understood before, it should be clear if I will try to read it again. New one.
Yeah, this is
Actually,
this
yeah.
is a. Mhm. How about the class? How do you guys understand the class itself? Would you like to take a look in different examples, because I see we have linked list, but I see that we didn't cover it yet. The OOP. OOP should be like next week. Maybe you would like to cover a little bit of basics in OOP, like with the class, and give some extra example to understand how the class programming works.
Okay. Whatever you want to teach us.
Yeah, because yeah, you're using classes, but but OOP is kind of explains how classes should be used uh, for tasks like that. I think we can cover a little bit of OOP too, and then we're gonna be covering it again. But in the beginning, just I would like to introduce you into class programming. Yeah. Programming. Well, let's go from scratch. Since we already covered the keyword of class node, and it's been it's just a simple object which is going to uh, exist when we instantiate it. For this term, for this case, I would like us to introduce it into a few different terms. And the first is instance. Instance, it's um, it's an object or object what is being returned to us when we initiate the class. We use new class. And so class is kind of prototype of the object which we're returning. So in this case, whatever we return inside of, so it is already a class. And right now, we can compare it to, let's say, class. Let's do its regular object, and like that. It's kind of similar to this object, because in this object we can put some value and say um, object value. And same in this class, we can say, okay, that we can say value is equal to object value. And the difference between these two, that this is just a prototype, and when we instantiate this node, we are going to receive something similar to the object. Let's take a short example. So based object is equal new node and just parentheses. Class-based object and just object. And let's try to print both of them. Yep. So technically, this node object, it just has some like name of the object in like indicating what kind of class was used to create this object. But technically, we can see the same key property, double like column sign, and value as a string. So there is not a big difference. Let's say we want to add some method. So objects, any object might have some key and value and methods. This is a very like significant part of any class or object. It's a method. So we can describe the method. Say we don't need to say functions. We can say create or print object name, print object name, and we use it like a function with a parenthesis and block scope. And we can say, okay, console dot log, and we're gonna say class node. Okay, so we can use this method. See, here we printed these objects themselves, and we can print class-based object dot print object name. Print object name. Class node, or we can say object name object name is object name is class node. Okay. And here in our object, we can do the same thing as we did in our class. Print. So we declare a key, and we say that this key is going to have a value of callback function. And inside of this callback function, we just want to refer to console log functionality. But we can say it's a simple object. Simple object. And we want to use it to this is just to add extra line of space between this console logs. Okay. Object. Let's use the same method. And in our simple object, we have this method, which is referred, which is like refers to the callback function, which is just like a method. It works as a method. And let's take a look at the class and try to access method and some value inside of the class all together. We can say, okay, print values, print value, and say console.log this dot value, value class based object print yep object value. Yeah, so we're printing this object value, and technically we can do the same thing in our object the simple object. So we can say print value. It's a callback, and we can say console log this that value. Let's reuse it as well. In this case, we referring to this value, but this value is undefined. Can you tell me why is that happening, Victor or Ayana?
I think we can use this in simple object.
We cannot use this or can use this?
I think can't. I never seen that we use this like to navigate by our properties in simple object. We use name of variable and dot like, to choose property.
Yeah, we can say object dot value, right? Like
I
this.
think.
And if we try it like that, yeah, object value it refers, but the thing is, remember we spoke about JavaScript ECMA, ES5 and ES6. ES6 introduced us a new way to declare variables. Const some function and equal to callback function with sum. And one of the significant differences between a new way of creating function and old way, like function do something, is that this function ignores this. And this old way function respects this. So if we comment this out and replace our value, print value in this object from ECMA 6 to a regular function, like this function function, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. This way of declaring function is going to respect this and refer to this object where it's placed. So this is one of the differences which you might say. And this is like an example why how this is being followed or disregarded in ECMA 5 and ECMA 6 standard.
So these he can be used only inside object. He can navigate inside object.
Yes, that's why when we use keyword this is technically it refers to instance. This equal to the instance. And the instance can be as many instances, can be as many as you want. For example, if in this case you want to create 3 objects like this object 1, 2, 3, you can create them, but you have to copy paste them. And remember, if you copy paste, I mean not copy paste, you can say okay, const object 2 is equal object 1, or just object. So this is going to be the same object, just referring to the same like scope. So object 2 is going to be the same thing that object 1. Let's say it 1 or just regular 1. So instead of, in case of if you want to create as many objects, your custom objects, it's a good practice to use a class, because you can create an instance and you can create as many instances, and each instance can access itself with a keyword of this. Yep. Let's hide this.
Takhir,
Yep.
can you please you deleted the part I just had a question.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, it's actually basicing. I just forgot. So in line 25, you created variable class-based object
Mm-hmm.
equal to new node. So if we
Mm-hmm.
will do some changes modifying in class-based object, will it uh, somehow mutate the original class node, or it's different thing?
No, no.
It's just copied.
Uh,
He will not affect, right, to original.
no, no. Let's see. For this case, I can give a good comparison. Not comparison, I mean example. Let's comment this out for now. And actually, I like game development, honestly, and I like to create games. And later, I can show you the game I created on the full stack application. It's very simple, and we already did it together. One of those class with React, but if you're gonna have a time, I'm gonna show it to you. But let's come back to the game development. Let's create a class Archer. Archer, and we say Archer, it's a type of players they can play together, right? So we can say, okay, we can say constructor, and in the constructor, on the initiation, or we don't need the constructor. We of course we need it, but for now we can use some. We used value. Let's say health equal to 100, And what else? Archer has power. Power. Power is equal 50. No, too much, 50, 15. And we can create a class of orc. Orc. And orc is going to have 100 power, but health 100, but power orc is going to have like 25. Oh, 35, 25. And then we can create as many players in our game as we want. Let's say team is going to be team 1 and team 2. So here we can create 2 archers and player player 1 equal to new archer. Archer, we just instantiated. Why is that? Oh, yeah, disappeared. Plus player 2 is going to be archer, and player 3 is going to be orc. And the second team is going to have players, let's say 4, 5, and 6. But they going to have 2 orcs and 1 archer. Okay.
You can check line 44. You named orc without age.
Yeah. Orc. Is it the right pronunciation, right? Orc. Yeah. Let's respect orcs and make an orc like that. So technically what we are having right now is just a 2 batches of players on both sides, and they have their own like characteristics. Let's say the team number 2 just took collaborated all these 3 players and hit player number 1, right? And since they can hit very well, let's say player all rounds. Yep. The game was started. Well, let's say log game. That. And player number 1 dot health is minus equal, what is that? Minus equal player 4 dot power plus player 5 dot power power and plus player 6 dot power. Okay, that was just one action, one move. And then when we try to print all of them, of course, you probably know what is going to happen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know that first archer has health 35, so we kind of hit him too much. But all of others, they still stay the same. And as soon as we instantiate the class, we cannot change anything. And if even after that we instantiate the player number 7, and it's going to be archer 2, I don't know who's going to be playing for. This player number 7 is going to inherit the same value 100, no matter what happens to other instances. So instance can never affect the class. Okay. Hopefully I answered.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's very was interesting answer. And
Yeah. And I just like with the game development, it's kind of it's a very nice field for OOP. It's my personal suggestion, but in game development, OOP is kind of must-have. In front-end development, OOP is not that demand like it would be in back-end of game development. Yeah. And yeah, in each our object, we can create as many players as we want and as many different kinds of players than we want. But remember, we were talking about the function, right? In the very beginning of JavaScript learning, we say, okay, if I have a block of code and some actions are repeated actions, like let's say, and then we have another block of code. We say, oh, this is against the principle, do not repeat yourself. Do not repeat yourself, dry. Because it's not a good idea to do the same thing again and again. So in this case, something we're doing again and again. I mean, not that bad in this case, but we can see Archer and Orc initially when we instantiate them, they have a similar amount of health, and they both are players, right? When we inherited them, instantiated them, we call them players: player 1, player 2, player 3, and so forth. What if we can make the separate category and reuse it? Let's create a class. Let's create a class player, class player, and we can say in class player we're going to have a health equal to 100. No matter is it orc or is it archer or is mag, it's going to be the same amount of health for any of them. But then let me put it before orc and archer. Player. We say, okay, player has health 100 HP, sorry. But we're just gonna use integer value. And then we can say, okay, archer, class archer, extends player. And here we can get rid of this value. Let's try to run this command. Yep, the same thing. But we forgot to extend org. Extends player. I'm sorry, not the right place. Extends player. And now when we have a very basic class for all of them, we can say our orc and archer, they are both inherit from or extend the class of player. So here I would like to come to the second term in OOP is being called inheritance. Inheritance, it's when you take a class with common the class. Hold on, how to formulate it? Simple and inheritance is when you borrow properties and methods from other classes. And in this case, we can kind of not invoke there's the terms like parent class. Parent class is just a convenient name. Parent class and child class. This, I think it's kind of obvious. So in this particular case, the player is going to be parent class. And the class archer extends, it's kind of child class. So it's kind of inherit class player some keys and properties. Do you have any questions so far? Go ahead.
Ну, да, если на русском просто. Я в целом задача класса в разработчике фронтенда — это создание некого шаблона, правильно?
Да.
Который ты можешь использовать. И это вся, основная задача использования классов.
Да.
Окей. И на самом деле, в моем случае, я даже не знаю принцип работы. Вот вы показали, можно использовать конструктор, потом сказали, здесь он нам не нужен. Я не знаю, что такое конструктор, для чего он нам нужен. Базовые принципы работы с классом. У нас есть, просто делали примеры, но разбирать сам класс, один класс был в самом начале, я не очень хорошо его запомнил. Можете, пожалуйста, еще рассказать о основных принципах работы классов? Что с ними?
Конечно. Of course, I'm gonna keep in English. So when this is just for simple example. In real world-class programming, it would be a good idea to use a constructor, because in this particular case, we assigned the property of health. Like in class, it's kind of hard-coded, and we can add a method. So as we spoke about the general programming, we have functions and variables, right? So technically, in class, it's kind of tiny file which can be reused. So in this class, we can use method or aka functions. In class, functions in class are being called methods. So technically, methods, any method of class, it's kind of regular functions, but this function is encapsulated, and I'm gonna show you why. And in any class, let's consider two type of method or functions. First, and very important, it's a constructor. Constructor method or constructor function. And difference between regular function explanation, we don't have to type function here. It's going to be a typo. So constructor, it's just a simple method or function which is being called one time when class is being inherited. And any other function, okay, let me any other function or method is being called only when we call it. Constructor is being called only one time when we instantiate the class. Well, let's take a look at this constructor. But before we use constructor in class, let's take a look at the constructor in child class, right? We may have constructor here and there. But here we can say, okay, constructor, and so that log constructor was called comma plus archer. Okay, and what is a typo on the line 52? Can you see the problem? Was
Something
called
with
log
super.
super.
Oh, you need to call the parent constructor. It says must call the super constructor in delivered class before accessing this.
When
So yeah.
we use super, I guess. I'm not sure. I just
We
remember.
don't use super. We don't use. Let's say we use constructor just in child class. Constructor, and comment this out for now. Let's read the bug. Constructor was called class archer. So we called this class archer super constructor is derived. Yeah, before accessing these 52. Interesting. Probably in JavaScript it has slightly different behavior, but let's say our player has a constructor, and here we super our previous constructor. Oh, there you go. But we cannot overwrite the constructor, right? Yeah.
I've never heard of you can override the constructor. The parent constructor, I mean.
Yeah, we can just provide some arguments in it. In Ruby, it's slightly different. So it's yeah, we cannot use constructor if our parent doesn't have constructor. And super is just okay. Let's make it simple for now, and we are going to be using. So our archer doesn't need constructor yet, right? And we can call this functionality class player. And this line of code was executed every time we instantiate the class. Neither we instantiate the player itself, or we instantiate the child of this class is being considered as instantiating the parent too. And anytime we instantiate archer or orc, we run the constructor of player. And whatever action we do after that, if we hit the player number 1 or we do anything else, the constructor is not going to be called again, even if we want to call this manually. Let's say player 2 that constructor. It doesn't even prompt this method for us. Constructor is probably going to tell us, hey, you cannot use constructor method on instance. Yep, it doesn't allow us to, because this method is being used just once when we put a keyword new. It's just, you have to remember that. Okay, constructor. But if you don't, instead of constructor, you can use any other method. Let's say introduce. And introduce, you can say console log and I am I am a player. I'm a player. And we can use this method introduce thousands of times or as many as we want. Let's use this method. Since this method belongs to a player class, it's going to belong to its child orc or archer. Let's say player 2 and player 3. Player 2 that introduce and player 3 that introduce. Yep, I'm a player and I am a player. Something doesn't look right. What we can do in this case, hopefully JavaScript is going to give us this opportunity to override this method. Introduce. Let's say our archer extends the player and we know we have introduce method. But at the same time, we can say, okay, introduce method is going to exist again. And here we can say, okay, super. That means we use the parent method. And if we have some argument, we have to provide this argument. Otherwise, we can leave it like that. And we can say log and also I am an archer. Yep. And let's try to run it. Super. 59. Seriously? This keyword is used to access the call method parent class. Looks like in JavaScript it can only override. Okay, I just confused with other languages. Probably in introduce. And I am an archer. Interesting. So now when we overwritten archer method introduce from basic player method where it says I'm a player, we just overwritten its behavior. And I expected we can super its behavior, but in JavaScript we can just overwrite or use the parent one. So for this archer player, we created this introduction message. I'm an archer, and of course the orc doesn't know he is orc, and we can say, okay, we can add introduce method to orc, and orc, and he is going to know who is So this is kind of basic of OOP. Of course, OOP has a lot of different things. Then just to that's what we did. It's very simple and beginning stuff. Another thing I would like to mention before we take a short break, I can mention you that we can, instead of declaring keys and values like I did here as a variable, we can conceal conceal this logic inside of constructor method. And inside of the constructor method, we have to use this keyword, this that health is equal to 100. And in this case, when we instantiate a new player, we know that we add a health, we add anything else. Let's say we can add the power. Each player has its own power, but anyways, we can add, let's say, color. The color empty string. Why do we use this format of assignment instead of that? You can say, okay, we can just, instead of using this and blah, 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 we can do it like that. But there is another thing I would like to mention here, that in the constructor, we can pass some arguments. When we instantiate the archer, we can say, okay, number of, how is that called, Stella? Arch, right? Arrow, sorry. When we instantiate the class of archer, we can say, okay, when we use archer, we want to use its constructor. And in the field of arguments, we want to provide number of arrows. And this value we can access only in this case when we do new assignment. So any arguments we put in new class, new archer, let's say 5, 6, and this archer we're going to give 12. And sequentially here in number of arrows, we can do it dynamically. And here, say this, that number, actually copy paste. Number of errors is equal to number of errors. So variable which belongs to this class now assigned from this argument. And sometimes it looks confusing. We can rename it to any different variable. Okay, arrows equal number of arrows. That's it. And now if we print all our game, this that arrows is not right 60. We have to use super. Okay. constructor was called health, not color. And now we can see each of our archer. The first one, did we kill him? What? The first one was, what happened? We probably did something nasty. Yeah, but ignore this guy. Yeah, when we instantiate the variable in the constructor, we provided argument, which we dynamically assigned number of errors for our archer through the constructor variable. So this is a very common and popular way to use constructor in a class. And yeah, that was pretty much it.
Here, instantiate, initialize different, initializing.
It's kind of similar. Yes, you can say it's equal thing. Okay, so initialize and instantiate. So this call is being called instantiate because it's instance of the class. But initialize means like makes class to like implement itself, something like that. But it's similar. Okay. All right. Well, let's take a short break, and we can continue with the OOP, maybe a little bit more after that, unless you have some questions. If you guys want to take a break, otherwise we can keep going.
Let's take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break. By the way, Nursultan, what kind of OOP principles do you know? It's actually asked
Oh, you
question
mean
in an interview.
encapsulating, inheriting, and then what was the third one? Monomorphism, no, polymorphism, yeah.
Encapsulating, inheritance.
No, inheritance is a polymorphism. Or not?
Inheritance. They call it solid. Solid. Is solid stands for single responsibility. And, open closed. Open closed. I don't even. It's not that obvious. Like principle open closed. Lebowski. Forgot Lebowski. Yeah, but these solid principles, sometimes you just need to list definition of each work, single responsibility, open closed, Lebowski, what is Lebowski paradigm, not paradigm, encapsulation, and the third was
No idea.
solid principle. JavaScript. single responsibility, open close principle, least cause substitution, interface segregation principle, and dependency inversion principle. This is kind of for more advanced, I think, usage knowledge to understand. I think there are more easier terms.
I know they call some with some fancy name, and then like even though it's so simple.
Yeah. Very simple. But I think for the beginning of the principles, we can take abstraction.
Yeah, abstraction,
So
consolidating, polymorphism, inheritance.
inheritance and polymorphism.
But they are the same, polymorphism, inheritance.
Kind of, yes. But they're very similar. But we already implemented inheritance, polymorphism. In abstraction, it's actually just, I don't know how to realize abstraction in JavaScript, but in other languages, you just create the abstract class and never use it with, you know what? We, in the work, we create the abstract class, let's say class, parent class, parent class. And let's say it has constructor and stuff like that. Constructor and some method. We have execute method. Execute at work. And here, inside the execute method, we use throw error, and describing it like throw new error, and saying you cannot use, what is that? Method in parent class. And now when we inherit this method, let's say class child, and you create it, yeah, extend class. Whatever is that value equal 10. And then we say const C1 equal to a new child. And if you never overwrite this method, it's our framework is going to use this child or child that execute. And now it throws our error. You cannot use execute method in parent class. So and when we use it, we have to overwrite this class. We say, okay, execute, and CLG. Okay. Now we don't have any problems because in this case it's kind of abstraction and we do not allow to use it as is. So it's one of the ways to implement abstraction in JavaScript. Yeah, I think in Java or Python or other classes where you can declare it's like a abstract class, it goes easier, right, Sultan?
Oh, which one?
In abstraction, like in Java, can you use abstract classes if you want to
Oh,
inherit?
abstract classes, yeah, just like you can extensiate the abstract class. It just uses for inheritance. Yeah, you can declare the variables and I mean the attributes and the methods, but you have also interfaces that can hold only methods. Yeah. Yeah. What was the question?
Yeah, I mean, you have a very good knowledge about OOP. You say you was programming in Java, right? In Python with classes.
Oh no, a little bit Python and in main language Java. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but in JavaScript, I don't know. Maybe I don't know how to use abstractions.
Ah,
But here,
I think you can just class and then type abstract.
class abstract. Let me see.
No, I mean the class and then abstract maybe.
Abstract.
Class and then Oh, or maybe before. Maybe before. I don't know.
Nope.
Maybe if you Google.
But abstract class is just an abstractive definition, by the way. It's that means you have to describe the behavior, but not to implement it, right?
Yeah, and attributes too. Because behavior you can implement it in interface.
Yeah, abstract class in
JavaScript.
JS. Class cannot be instantiated. That means you cannot use abstract classes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but how to implement it?
How to implement it? Abstract
How to use, right?
Implement.
Because the abstract class is just a class that you cannot instantiate. You can just write a new and then type of the like some abstract class. You can use it only for inheritance, for extension, nothing more.
Yeah, that's right. Probably it's not the best language to realize the abstract classes because you need to invent something because in JavaScript it's kind of not designed for this OOP logic. But I think it's something should be done here in constructor or so. But that was abstract method because you cannot call this method. But if you use inherited and override this method, it's kind of how this works. Abstraction. Okay. By the way, do you struggle with some topics in algorithm section in the SATEC? Did you solve all of them or something you still waiting or
To be honest, I didn't even touch it. I'm just being honest.
Karina, Ayan, did you solve all of these algorithm questions or like practice questions?
Hi, Takhir. So I've solved the easy and the junior and a little bit of medium, but mediums are actually crazy. They're kind of hard. I need some help on them.
Yeah, would you like to like take apart one of these? What you struggle the most? If you have something like that.
I think I'm not sure. Was it number 40 or something? Number 45? The missing vowels or something?
Number 40, yeah, the last one.
Yeah, can I see the question? Sorry, I kind of forgot.
Yeah. How many vowels? Given 54?
Wait, no, not that one. I don't know, just like medium questions. I kind of forgot because I gave up and I didn't do it.
Yeah, looks like I already
But it
solved
would
it.
be nice if we could solve the medium and the algorithm questions. Those are really good.
Mhm. Okay. Let's probably solve some of the algorithm questions. Do you have any preferences for which one?
Maybe you can solve some lead code because
LeetCode?
these
Yeah,
are these are like you can
taken
show
from
them.
LeetCode.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, we can start here and continue in lead code, you know, why not? Like solver one of string here, and if we get really boring, we can switch to lead code.
I don't think these have test cases. I think that's what Nursultan was saying, right?
Yeah.
no, these are has test cases. No?
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Some of
You can
them
run it, but
You
it
see?
was accepted.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Hmm.
But lead code has test cases, so it's really good.
Mhm. Yeah, let's try to solve some of this on a LeetCode. Like linked list.
Because you can show them on your profile, like lead code. Start with easy and then go more advanced.
Yeah, probably. Add
Oh,
to
you would not
number.
you would need to sign in because you cannot run them like test, I mean.
From the end of the list. Okay, still sorted. Let's go one. I don't know what's the question marks here. Acceptance 43. Add to numbers. Let's go one by one. Okay. You are given two not empty linked lists representing two non-negative integers. And digits are stored reverse order. And each of their nodes contain single digit and two numbers, and return this. Hold on. Add two numbers and return the sum as a linked list.
Oh, if you look on the picture, it just sums the nodes 5 and 2, 4 and 6, and then 3 and 4.
Yeah, this is very interesting. So technically, how this task looks like. Well, this
Linked list basically is a array. I know it's a C++. We have it here. If you
no,
switch to the switch to JavaScript, it's gonna be, I think, array.
but here in this case, if we want to describe these two linked lists, let's print them in here. I'm gonna comment this out. Const list list1 is equal to list1 is equal to, so it's gonna be a head node value 2 equal to, and next is going to be value 4 equal to 4, right? 4, yep. And next value equal to 3, and next is going to be null. No. So this is how this linked list looks like. And the second one is kind of similar. Value 5, 6, 6, 4. And do we have to return? So
I think we just lose the 1 if it's 10. Like put the 0.
I'm just thinking, should I create the new new linked list, right?
No, I think if you could switch to the JavaScript, you're on C++. JavaScript.
JavaScript. Oh, nice. 2 numbers.
Let's console log them maybe. I really know.
They're going to provide us 2 linked lists, and I think we
Oh,
can
there is a
start-
definition on the top.
Different function. This.
It's a class function class component.
Так, да. Value. Okay, well, let's try to.
Maybe we should put them in array, like it's gonna be a
Array.
function that converts them to array and then just add one by one, you know.
Yeah, we can add them one by one. So let's say while. So let's iterate them while
Next exists maybe. Oh,
list
okay.
one. Пока while is list one.
Maybe
And
next.
say,
While next exists. We should push it in array.
Oh, yeah,
that
this
we
is-
will declare. Yeah.
Actually, it's gonna be list, so we have to node, right? Node one. Let node one is equal to L1.
No, I mean if
Got
we create an array on top and then push it to an array.
Okay, and const array one is equal to empty array. And then here we need to
Until we have
node.
the next one, we will push it in array.
Yeah, until the node exists. So
Yeah.
if the head
L1
exists,
next, maybe. No, not the head. Because we don't have the head on a definition.
yeah, we have
Until the next reference exists. Until it's not null. Yeah.
Oh, L1 is no. Okay, I understand that. I just don't want to lose the very first L1, you know. But
Oh,
let's try it.
okay.
We can say L1. We don't have head. I thought it's list and node two different things.
As I understand, JavaScript consists of the references everywhere.
Yeah. Node one equal, let's say array one.
That push.
That
Or how you push it.
Push. How to push it? Node one.
Node one value.
That value. And then after
and then
that,
reassign to the next one.
L1. L1 is equal to
Next.
L1 dot next. Okay.
And the
Do
next.
the same.
Yeah. I think it's better if you put it in a function. But we can go with that panel.
Yeah, we can do a hard-coded way, and then to update it, array 2, and we push
Node.
not L2.
L, yeah.
And this type as well.
then on 2022 line.
L2. L2 dot next.
And
okay.
We pushed it, and then we need to just with the for loop to add one by one, like first value in array 2 with first value in array 1, and then like go like that.
And we can say
for maybe for until the length of the one of the arrays.
But you see, this should be a digit. So if imagine we have it's going to be 10, right? We cannot have 10. We should have
we will just save it in a variable. I think if it's more than 10, we will just push the to the result array. I mean the 0. Yeah.
Maybe you see now. Is there any chance we can console log it?
Yeah, I think run or I don't know.
Run.
It's gonna complain.
Yeah.
What we
output undefined.
That's we didn't console log anything. On std out you have like bar std out.
Okay, std out.
And then run, I think. I personally use the code bars.
No, we don't. I probably need to subscribe on.
Yeah, you have an std out right here, right there. It's just two arrays. Do you see them?
L1, yeah, input.
No, right there. No, it's an given values, and this is the output. You console log that.
Yeah, so now we have two arrays, right?
Yeah, that's cool. Now we can just add them.
To make it
with for loop.
For loop.
I go one by one, and then like if I0 and then add the array 1 I0 and then array 2 I0. Yeah, I think that's way it will work.
That I is equal to 0, I less than array.
But I don't know if the array length is equal always.
Wait.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, but we probably need to compare both of them, right? To make sure we iterate through all. Or In that case, if we iterate
Yeah.
through all of them, so we're gonna take in count and I plus plus.
True.
And here, since we have this array, we can say, okay, return, right? Const return list equal to empty object.
Maybe we'll push it in array and then like convert an array to the linked list.
Mhm. Like,
But I don't know, you can do however you want.
I have an idea to convert these two arrays into digits because
But the JavaScript handles it. It converts it automatically.
actually, yeah. Let's say, so imagine we iterate 2 and 5. We can say array 1 sum const sum equal to array 1 at I and plus array 2 of I. И смотри, if we have one digit, because we might have like 7 and 8, right? If we have 7 and 8, we're gonna have 15, and now we have to put here 1.
Yeah, I got you.
And 5 we have to
We can
add
divide
here,
it by
right?
10. We can divide it by 10 if it's bigger than 10. Oh, I mean, not divided by percent sign. So
Mhm.
give it, yeah.
Const
If it's
sum,
if it's bigger than 10.
yeah. So here we can check if reminder, if actually let reminder equal to sum percent 10, right? If if we have something in reminder, so we probably have to store it, right? We have to store it for next iteration if we have reminder.
If you have reminder, I don't know. I was thinking of just creating the result list, result array, and then push it to an array, and then this array convert to the linked list.
Okay.
It just it seems to be easier.
Yeah, let's do let's do it this way, as you say.
No, you just need to change the return list to an array, not an object.
List. Okay, array. And then
And
we
I
can
think
say,
you forgot to delete the on 29 the scope code.
it's for loop probably or not?
No, it's not. It's not a for loop.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
and if it's bigger than 10, we just divide it. Have a like get the remainder, push the remainder. If it's not
Okay.
bigger than 10, like just to push the value.
Okay, but you see here it was summarized. We have 14. We have 10, right?
10, yeah. Yeah,
Then,
if we get the remainder, it's gonna be 0.
Oh yeah, if we have some percent 10, so if we have anything, so what we should do?
Remainder? No, I mean the if the sum is bigger than 0 or bigger than 10.
It's bigger than 10.
And push to the no, we can
Return list that push.
push the remainder sum that divided by 10. No, like percent sign.
Okay, and
Sum.
Probably minus 10, right? Minus 10.
Oh yeah,
Because
we can go
cannot-
with minus 10.
It cannot be higher. It cannot be greater than 19.
100,
I think.
yeah. 100.
100.
And else
Sum
we can
minus
push
10.
just our sum. Yeah.
Else we push
Sum.
the sum. Okay. So
now we just need to console log and see what we have.
But we losing, you see, we have 10, we pushing 0 to this place.
But they don't I got it. We just need to push on the second
we have
one.
to this number 1.
I got it.
We have to put here.
But we can declare the remainder outside of the for loop and then keep it.
Yeah. Remainder. Let remainder
Equal to 0, I think.
0.
And each time they add to the sum on the end. So if it's 0, it will not affect to the sum.
If the sum is greater than.
No, I mean on a 28 line. If we add the array 1, I plus array 2, I, and then plus remainder.
Plus remainder, okay.
And then recalculate the remainder. Yeah.
It calculates. So if
it's the bigger than 0, we need to just subtract from 10 sum, and it will give a remainder. No.
Look, it can be. Imagine we pass here.
Yeah, I got it. If it's 4 and 6, should be 1. What if we divide it by 10?
If we divide it by 10.
Это же десяток. Yeah.
But if we would have 5 and 6, we would leave 1 here and 1 put here, right? We would have 7
we can
plus
just
8.
divide it by 10, I think. If it's bigger than 10, it's gonna be like 15, for example. 15 divided by 10 is gonna be 1. So 1 is gonna be remainder, and it will go to the next for iteration.
But on the other hand, you see this one, the maximum can be 9 plus 9, right? It can be 18.
Yeah, but anyway, you will keep just 1. You don't need to keep 2 or 3 or more, I think.
Yeah, it cannot be 7 or something else, right? So you can say if it's bigger than 10,
subtract from divided by 10.
Divided by 10 is gonna give us not integer value. Right? If it's gonna be 17,
we can floor it.
Maybe we can say just 1, because it technically it can be from 10 to 19, right?
10 to 19. Yeah, but anyway, you just need to pass the one only. Like only one is gonna be the reminder, or zero. Either one or zero.
1 or 0. So technically, we can say the sum minus a reminder
Why
minus,
reminder?
minus reminder. 1 second.
We
Sum,
need to just recalculate it.
sum of, if we do it like that.
Oh, okay. I think that's also fine.
And now we're going to have 10. Right, and now we delete all the thing by 10. Slash 10. So we don't have to use floor or ceiling.
Maybe, yeah.
And we can say reminder is equal to sum percent 10. Okay, but if the sum is less than 0, we push the sum and reminder equal to 0, right? Let's console log. Actually, we can return it. Return. Push sum dot push.
Oh, it should be return list that push.
Return list, yeah. Sum dot push. $56. We don't have line 56.
That was I'm talking about. Okay, I think that's some calculation problem.
Some mathematical part. List node. Throw new. You know what? Probably we have to double check first if we have array, because here we might have some digit, but an array 2 is going to be undefined. And when we do like 1 plus undefined, right? So array.
I don't think so.
Let's
Because
take
it
a
has
look.
to run the first iteration, first test case.
Maybe.
I sent you in the chat 2 lines of code. I think that should work.
Reminder. Let's try it. Command C. Okay, what is my?
In if it's bigger than 10, if it's bigger than 10, 30, 31, 30, 31. Damn it. Still suspicious.
But let's take a look at this example. Console log, log 5 plus undefined. Not a number. Okay. So technically, it shouldn't be a problem if it's undefined. But if we do undefined percent %10, not a number. Interesting.
Maybe it's a type of the array I. Like, I mean, it's not if we console the sum. Type of
Okay.
sum. Maybe it's, I don't know.
But where is our sum? Okay. We can
Oh,
console.
it's because the const sum is a const. Wait, it
Oh,
should be let here.
yeah, that's right.
Maybe now it will. Oh, okay.
But we do not reassign it.
This is not invalid. Throw new type error. Maybe type of the sum is not an integer.
Type of the sum is not an integer. Let's try to console.log sum and run it. std and look at std out.
I think
And
that 7 and 7. That's okay. I think. Maybe type of 7. Type of sum.
yeah, type of 7 number.
No, I mean the type. Maybe it's somehow it's string.
Type of
I think you should write it together, or no? Type of.
type of sometimes it's the type of in some syntax it can be number.
Yeah,
number,
it's number. Maybe sum minus 10. Reminder the push. Return is the push. Remainder 0. Should work. Let's see if it
Something.
works. I know. No, we don't have the list. It's maybe if we keep the length of the array 1, maybe only, not the array 2. Maybe it's going out of bound.
Maybe here, even here.
Yeah, maybe if we delete one of the conditions.
Okay.
Why? Line 50 chart.
Realize.
Line 16 maybe. Line 16, line 41.
Good return. Return.
Oh, it's in while loop. We have. No, we didn't have it.
We have to return some.
Oh, yeah.
Return.
Let's delete the return. And
Let's
just
actually.
console log it. Maybe if we delete return.
Yeah, probably that's why.
And console log the array.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
cool.
Nice. Probably. Yeah, I understand why is that, because probably the program tries to read
Test
that
cases.
next.
Yeah. And it gives a runtime error.
Well, return list. Okay, let's see.
It will be, I think, 10. Yeah. But what if it's bigger than 0, it should go. Let's see the code.
Okay. I know. I think we have to.
No, some remainder.
We have to push. We have to push remainder, right? Remainder of sum.
I think so. Okay. Yeah.
But in the remainder, we can say remainder is equal to 1.
Oh, divided by 10. No, not the. Oh, yeah. You're right. True.
Okay. Okay. Run.
No, it should work. Why?
No.
Oh, no. Oh. Some. Maybe if we create another variable inside the if statement, if it's bigger than 10.
If it's bigger than 10. Bigger or equal to 10.
Oh, yeah.
So now it should be better.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not. Shit.
7. Oh, it should be 708, right?
Yeah, it's a reminder. It's maybe if we console log instead of type of the sum reminder. Zero.
0.
Remainder 1. If it's bigger than, maybe I mistyped the name. Oh yeah, reminder. Oh yeah. Reminder, not reminder. Yeah, I mistyped the name of reminder. On line 31.
Okay, reminder that. Yeah, you broke the program. You broke the. Okay, reminder. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great job.
now it works. And now
The
I
only
think we
thing left. Oh,
I think we can add another condition
yeah.
for array 2. Array 2. That length array 2. But now let's take a look at case number 2, number 3. If we run with the case number 3, then we're going to face some issues.
Let's see the array we oh, you didn't console log the array?
Yeah, we didn't console log the
No, we did.
return. We did. Let's console comment this. Console
No,
log here.
we oh, okay.
Not to have too many information.
Oh damn, what the hell? Oh, maybe it's
Runtime.
out of bounds. JavaScript
Yeah.
heap out of memory.
JavaScript takes too much memory. But we can just update the test case. Number
Delete
3.
the test case.
Let's
Okay.
say 999. Actually, my concern
No.
was 99.
Maybe if we
Probably.
check if it's null, we will add the zeros. How
Yeah,
you chaining how you do it, like the chain. Вы как-то делали этот чейнинг с этим с вопросом. Да. Типа такого.
we can do it like that. Or 0. And we can wrap it into parentheses to make sure we're going to return the right thing. And now let's take a look.
Again, out of bounds.
What is wrong? Probably too complex algorithm. Let's close the test case. Other test cases.
MS. Нет, там этот array I, когда заходит, она этот ретурнит этот, как вот там, out of bound. Maybe try catch. Oh, maybe if этот array one length is bigger than
Да. I got it. Or I is less than.
the problem I think is not here.
No, do you think? Let's try. Yeah.
It's just first case.
First case.
What
How
is
could you
the
set it? Test cases. Okay. Test case to 9, 9, 9, and we had problems with this case. 9, comma 9. Okay, run. Um,
8,
9.
9, 0, and then we lose the last one. It should be 1.
It should be 1. Yeah, that's right. It should be 0 and it should be 1 after that, right? We have to extend.
Да, наверное, это надо. Как там? Проверить, какой array больше. И этот. Ну.
Or maybe we have to add another condition. We have in this our for loop, we have first condition. If I within array 1 length, I within array
Yeah.
2 length, and
Yeah,
three condition if reminder still exists. Or
okay.
Reminder. Let's say a reminder is going to be greater than 0. In that case, our sum is going to be 0 plus 0 plus reminder 1. And now we're going to create another place.
That's kind of smart for you. That second test case. Yeah, works.
Now it works, but we don't have output yet. Let's.
It's simple, I think. We just need to for loop the return list. Return list.
Return list. Okay, for
iterate through the each item in a return list. I think let, not the const. Yeah, okay.
If we don't want to update the value of const. Okay, and then we have to say.
We would have to say. I think we should create a new list.
Const.
How to create a linked list?
To create, we can create a class. Helper class.
No, they provided a class for us. L1. Oh yeah, right here. List node. You just need to put the name. L1, L2, and then result.
Result.
Yeah. Там надо просто написать, типа, там вот так название же идут. Вот. Там result просто надо написать на 11 строке.
Okay, result. Well.
Yeah. It should work. И теперь там просто этот использовать.
Should I insert it here?
Не здесь. Это как параметры же. В этом, в for loop, где мы будем делать.
Okay, for loop. Result.
Наверное,
that value.
Value будет этим, как вот там. Item. Да.
Item.
И затем result.next будет. Hold on. Result.next.
Result.next.
Блин, а что это
Equal
будет?
to.
So we have value next. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Maybe we create, we say, okay, current node, let the current node is equal to result, and then we say, okay, at least one iteration, we say result.value is equal to item.
Result that
If
value next one.
Mhm.
No, блин, а как create next one?
Okay, then we can say
We don't have
result.
next yet.
Yeah.
That's why.
Maybe we have to use do while loop.
For what?
Do while loop to create a,
Oh,
I don't know.
maybe. Наверное. But we don't have the next, so we need to.
Maybe we have to iterate it again. Let's iterate it in normal way. Let
Okay.
I is equal to 0. I is less than final result. What was that result list?
Yeah. Return list.
Return list. Yeah, return list
Yeah.
that length and I plus plus. And then we can say
Result value item. I know.
we can say if we can say, okay, current node.
Не, по идее, там же есть уже. По идее, лист уже есть. Надо new list делать. So what's gonna be the next node if we don't have it yet? How to create the next node?
Yeah, that next is going to be node. It's gonna be, it could be a good idea to use a
Oh,
class.
Maybe просто reference. Numbers же они все reference или нет?
Нет, numbers не в reference.
Oh, okay.
We can say maybe we result.
Ага. А если type of L1 next сделать?
Type of
L1 next. Ну, я имею в виду этот сверху, сам вверху. Посмотреть, что за этот type.
it should be object probably. Let me see.
Let's create an object then.
Yeah, let's see console log.
But
return
I don't think it's object. Maybe. What kind of object?
L1. Object
Maybe.
like class?
No, L1 next, I think. If you console log L1 that next.
Output object.
Yeah.
That next. L1 and wait, that type of that next.
Да. Maybe.
Next.
Maybe он object весь сделает. Steady out.
Next, but it should let's see next.
Вон next, undefined, null or next. Блин. Наверное, это просто следующий list node. Maybe надо new list node делать. Типа list точка next равно new list node.
List.next.
Нет, я имею в виду в for loop. For loop, когда там делаем, там этот вот этот for форе, когда идем
Мгм.
итерацию, там у нас же получается value мы делаем первым, l result точка result.
Let's do it like that. Its current node, it should be empty object, right? And then we say,
Нет, там надо этот создавать, вот эти function класс, вот этот функциональный класс new list node. Это и есть
Мгм.
типа type. Вот это вот,
this one?
да.
Okay. Why it doesn't return anything then?
Нет, я имею в виду этот, там вот так, new list node. Сейчас.
List node. Okay, тогда будет list node.
В этом, в чате вот так.
List.
Это в for loop. Next же у нас нету. То через new создаем, и потом re-reference делаем, и потом еще запускаем.
Mhm. Okay, but result, we have to declare result because the
Oh,
result
yeah,
doesn't exist.
yes, yeah.
Const result equal to
А может let? Because we're gonna re-reference.
let result is equal to new list node. Right?
А, нет, не, я имею в виду этот. Result declared. А, да, все правильно, по идее. Тогда нам просто надо этот. Каждый раз list node создавать, и каждый раз типа next value, и потом value присваивать его так.
Mhm. Окей. Тогда мы должны создать let current node, right? Let current
Не надо, по-моему.
is equal to result, just in case.
Oh, okay. Just in case. Go back.
Okay. And then we're gonna say if.
По-моему,
can
только
say
result точка value будет, получается,
value.
return list I.
I.
А
And
следующий, наверное, будет
if
result точка next. Если exist, да, если есть.
if it undefined, if result list.
Оно же не будет больше, чем result list проходиться.
Yeah, but if the next if the next node is equal to undefined and not number, and not is number. Oh, sorry, type of equal to what is number? Not equal to, because if we iterate 0, we have to say result that value, but we don't have to say it's undefined.
Нет,
But
надо, наверное, result.next new node делать. New list node, типа. Next.
Yep, then it should be so if the next element is number,
да, то
that
получается
val is equal to
result.next. Result.next же. Мы же уже сделали assign the value. Надо next теперь re-reference сделать.
Yeah, next
Next one, пусть new node, new list node, по сути.
new list node. And
Так, и дальше.
but here we probably have to in value and next instantiate.
А, тогда все проще уходит. Наверное, вот так. Result equals new list node
Prefer. Мгм.
value сюда и new list node. Блин, я запутался. Типа вот так вот, может быть.
Okay, I think again.
М.